Hey guys, Henry from Card Game Coliseum here, doing green leaders on this video. Today we're going to talk about 3 leaders that they have: Son Goku, Son Gohan, and Broly. So let's go ahead and start with Son Goku. Now this guy came in the free demo deck. There's not a lot to him. He's pretty much the same on the front and back side, but let's just go over what he does really quick. So on his front side, he has Double Strike, which is inflicts 2 damage instead of 1 when attacking. And when you awaken, he draws 2 cards, just like every leader. And on the awaken side is just the same thing again, just has Double Strike. And now he has the auto of when he attacks, draw a card, which is every leader. So he's not that special, doesn't do anything much different than his front side, honestly. The only difference is he is now a 15k and draws a card. So not much to talk about him, just doesn't do much. But what you can do with this card is play a very aggressive deck. Play him and you can mix it with red and playing cards like the one drop saying Kava, but that'll be for another video where I can tell you guys what goes well with what leaders. But for now, just at face value, he's a leader with Double Strike, and that's all he has to offer within himself. Moving on to the next one is Son Gohan. So Son Gohan is when this card attacks, if you have more life than your opponent, draw 1 card. So if you can put out the early aggression damage, so you want to go second with this guy, so you can get damage in on your first turn. So let's say you have a 1-drop that can put damage in, you attack with the first on your first turn, and then after you attack with that battle card, you swing Gohan next, so that you get that draw. So you get this draw first before getting to Awaken side, which is fine. So if you can build a deck where it consistently pushes out damage early, so you can utilize his auto ability on the front side as much as you can to get as much draws and just gain resources and card advantage over your opponent as much as you can early on. Then once you get to his Awaken side, this is pretty nice. So auto when he attacks, draw 1 card. But what makes him really nice is on activate main once per turn, pay 6 of any energy, any color, choose all of your opponent's battle cards in the battle area and KO them. So this is very nice. It's a one-sided board wipe, which just lets you push in damage really hard. So there's 2 ways to be playing this deck. Is if you want to utilize his front side, is build a very aggressive deck early on so that you can consistently get your draws very early and put down pressure. Or is you want to play a stall kind of game, get to the late game and just control your opponent's board by just constantly blowing up their board. So you can play with blue to play objection, all these other cards. But again, that'll be for another video where we can discuss cards that work well with the leaders. So just taking it at face value of this side is that he can consistently blow up your opponent's board, which is really nice. The only thing is that you have to pay 6. So pretty much every time you're going to use his ability, that's pretty much the only thing you're going to do that turn. So you're not going to be doing much other than just blowing up your opponent's board. But the good thing about this game is that your leader can attack, so at least you have a 1 attacker left on board always after using his ability. So, and then moving on to the last one, none other than Broly himself. Now, Broly, in my opinion, is probably the 2nd best leader in the whole game in general. First is Vegeta, like I mentioned in our first video, talking about the blue leaders. But in terms of green, I think he's the best one. And then in terms of game, I think he is the 2nd best leader. Permanent, his effect is he cannot attack battle cards. So you can't use him to attack your opponent's board, which is kind of a downside. But you almost never do that anyways because of his other ability when he autos. When this card attacks, both players choose 1 card from their hand and place it in the drop area. So as soon as you swing with this card, his effect will go off first, making them discard their hand, or not their hand, but 1 card from their hand, and you have to discard 1 as well. But there is a card in the game called Broly's Ring, which says that you are not affected, your hand is not affected by Broly leader, but that'll be in another video. But just quickly, just after that card, you won't be affected, so it's just your opponent discarding. So you mitigate their hand while still keeping your hand. Then when he awakens, he becomes Broly the legendary Super Saiyan. Now his permanent is still the same, cannot attack battle cards, so again it's really hard just trying to keep your opponent's board clear. But there are other cards in the color that helps you fixate that problem of his. But his auto ability is when this card attacks, draw 1 card, then both players choose 1 card from their hand and 1 card from their battle area and place those cards in their drop area. Now that's really nice because if you can destroy your other opponent's cards before he attacks, he will make them sacrifice that last one, and then again also clear their hand. Again, if you have Broly's ring, you won't be affected by the discard. So you will consistently just keep drawing one card without losing another one, and then both players lose a card in the battle area. So very nice if it keeps going uncontested, and if you get really early discards, then your opponent can't do much without a hand, really. So if you can get to this side very fast and tempo your opponent out, it forces them to play their hand as awkwardly as possible, because they know if they don't play their card, then they're going to lose it. And it just puts them in a very awkward spot. And if it's a battle card, then it's going to die anyways because of his other effect. So very nice. What the cool thing about even his front side is that if they choose not to like put you early to an early 4 life, so you're like, oh, I really want to get rid of his board, but I can't awaken because he's not attacking me. The thing you can do at least is just attack with him every turn anyways, just so you can make them discard, just as long as you have Broly's ring out, because you don't want to lose your hand as well. But the nice thing is that even if he doesn't go through because of his alt ability, as soon as he attacks, both players must discard. So it's very nice. So you can still keep their hand down. That's the point of the Broly deck, really, is to mitigate their hand advantage while slowly trying to develop yours as well, which is what I really like, because Vegeta right now is tier 1. He likes to get a very big hand advantage over you. So Broly can get that tempo out early of discarding as soon as he can. Then Broly can just outright win the game because your opponent just has no resources left. So that's my take on the green leader, guys. So the ranking is Broly at first, Gohan second, and Goku at third, just because, like I said, Goku just doesn't have much to offer within him other than double strike, and that's just on both sides. But he can win very fast. So playstyle is more of a cheesy playstyle to win fast, quick early damage if possible. Then kind of a control-y type of card where you just destroy your opponent's board. And then Broly is also kind of more of a mid-range, but he can also be control-y because of what he does to your opponent's hand and field. So thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next video.